I look at it like this is what I like doing. It's not a, you know, cause this is not a day, you know, this is not a, like, I don't rely on this for my means. I genuinely do this cause I like talking to people and I want to make an impact wherever it makes an impact at. So that's just what it is. And I like the idea of a community. So whoever follows this, they all a part of the Subtle Impact community, right?
Yeah.
So I don't give it, oh, I need to make this by this. I need to make.
You don't put that pressure on it.
No, because I mean, I know myself, and if I over analyze and if I over exert myself, then I'll go mad with whatever I'm fixated on. I don't want to fixate myself on something like that. But part of me, in some capacity, and at some point in life, I want to like dedicate myself 100% to one thing. I don't think I've ever done that except for sports when I was young. And even then, I don't think I gave it 100.
Is that possible?
Do you ever think you gave 100% of yourself to something?
Track. In high school.
Right. And I say basketball in high school and middle school and elementary and and like travel league. But then I'm like, did I? I was playing games with the friends. I was going, you know, doing whatever. What's 100%? I guess it's
subjective.
Yeah,
that's like asking what, you know, if you were in love before with your first girlfriend. Like, yes, nigga, like you were.
Yeah,
you were definitely in love. I mean, like, it's not your definition of love now, but it's like subjective.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy you say that though. Like, when's the last time niggas have given 100% to something? Like, that's like asking a person 25 or older, like, when's the last time you ran full speed?
Bruh, you know, I was on the treadmill the other day. This is hilarious, right? I'm on the treadmill the other day, and I'm running, and I'm thinking, like, damn, because I go about to 6.5. I really don't go beyond that. Because I like to break a sweat. I'm not really in there to be fucking hauling ass. Yeah, no. I'm trying to break a nice sweat and then get my lift on. So I was thinking, like, damn, motherfuckers be 25 years old. They definitely can't run a mile, bro. There's no way. Because, I mean, after a long weekend, I barely can get in there and get the mile done. So I'm saying, I'm in there. It's just funny you say that, but it's crazy, though, to tie it all full circle. It's like, damn, man, 100% dedicating to one thing. Can you or have you ever been able to say you've done that? That's the question we leave out there for them.
Why do we honestly, why do we have to?
You don't have to. You know, I don't really even feel like you need to give 100% to something, but I do think that it's important to dedicate, you know, like fully submerge into something or fully feel like passionate or something. You know, maybe that's what I mean, you know, maybe not necessarily 100%.
Yeah, because I asked myself this question too. Like, I feel like it's limiting yourself because, you know, as we grow, our brains grow, and we live in 2022. Internet is crazy as shit. So to say that I'm going to give all of myself to one thing is almost limiting. You know, it's because shit, you know, if you could kind of like get a little bit here, give a little more there, that's a lot more productive and conducive than saying I'm giving everything to that because you'll miss out on other shit.
And I agree with you, but this is the one thing I'll say. I thought about think about Jay-Z. I would think that, and maybe I would like to hear his response, but I would like to think that he gave 100% to the dope game before he gave 100% to rap.
Absolutely.
Right? Then you go to rap and you give 100% to that, and then you see the result. And then after that, I mean, now you can be 25 here, 25 there, 10 here, 15 here. You can be, I think that's like, and I've struggled with that. Like, where do you put the effort? You know what I mean? Like, how do you determine the allocation of all of this shit? Because it's like when you
you go where the wind blows. I truly believe that shit. Like, I do, because my thing is, then you going against the grain. You know, if I'm saying I want to give 100% to my music right now, nigga, I'm in fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
shout out to you too. Plug your shit in.
That's tough. Feel like Chris 12, man. Follow your boy, book your session, holla at me. Mind, body, and soul. Yeah, I help people develop through the mind, body, and soul. But back to what we were saying, it's like, how do I say, like, I'm gonna be a rapper again, nigga? I'm brushing my hair backwards. You know, you go where the wind blows, and then when the wind changes direction, now I'm gonna give a little to this. That's why I think we, as we grow up, we're gonna have more and more and more streams, and we building all them bitches at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, we definitely are. I feel like what we're doing right now is just, it's the research stage, and it's also just the, like we're adopting all of the new new ways of life, right? Like, I feel like we're really just we're assessing. We sit back, we assess, then we come back to the drawing board. We figure out what we need to do, and then boom, execution. But you know, I mean, I think what we just touched on, we can definitely get more into, and we can make that a whole other segment, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because that conversation in itself is deep. You know what I mean?
And you know, it's a lot of different responses with that too.
There's a lot of different responses, because some people are going to tell you need to be 100% dedicated to one thing. Some people are going to tell you, honestly, you should be kind of 50 in here, 50 in there, 50, 40, 10. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be a whole different. So I think that was a really good conversation, because I think we can really like embark on that in so many different ways.
That one down, shit.
Nah, man, we're gonna keep that one in the back of the head and be like, yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. But I definitely fuck with the fact that you came on, man. You know, it's been a minute since you came on here.
My God,
It's been a minute.
It was music last time.
It was music last time, man. Now we back, episode 28, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That's incredible.
Episode 28, man. You know, clap it up, Subtle Impact. You know,
that's incredible.
We coming back. We got merch now. Since the last time you've been here, you know, it was starting from the ground up. So, you know, we got merch. We got a website. We got all of that. So we doing good things. And I'm happy that you're here, because I think we're going to have a real mature conversation today.
Grown man shit.
Grown man shit, man. So episode 29, welcome, Subtle Impact, man. We back. And let's get into it, you know. So today we talking about friendship. The impact we making today, we talking solely about friendships. Okay. And so we're going to get into the nuances and the complexities of friendships, because it's difficult, right? Friendships are damn near relationships, if you want to make them that, you know. So we'll see how people feel, but I think friendships can be very very heavy. So first topic, let's get right into it. What are the nuances, right, in male friendships versus women friendships, right? And now I'm not making this episode about male versus female, or women versus men is the politically correct thing to say. So I've been told. But I do want to know how you feel about the nuances of the friendships between the two, because we all know we got homegirls who got friends and they tell us about their stuff. We might share some stuff about us. So like, what do you think is different? You know, what do you think makes those two bonds a little bit different?
That's a tough ass question.
It is tough.
But I'm gonna say, I think that with men friendships, men don't really go into the specifics too much. You know, It's like, shit, man, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. But like, because we don't have, and this is, and I'm gonna take away the gender, right? Because majority of the time, feminine means woman and masculine means male. Right. You know, so that's just like a little, you know, pretense to it. But I feel like a masculine energy, male or female, whoever's the masculine energy, you don't have time to sit there and, you know, worry about the ins and outs, the nuances and shit, you know, because why? You got your eyes fixated on the prize. You know, so when you have two, you know, let's take it back to gender, I guess, you know, the difference between a masculine and a woman to woman friendship is, I think women are a lot more nurturing. And when you're nurturing, naturally, you take your time. You know, you take your time, you know, you give the time and the energy necessary for growth. Whereas men, it's like, you know, you my man's outside of this, but like, nigga, if you had a bad day, it's like, I hope it gets better. You know what I mean? Like, I love you to death, but like, I hope your day gets better.
Yeah.
Whereas
I really
a woman,
do.
it's like, hey,
Like, what can I do? Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, you know?
It's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Nah. Naturally, that's how it is. And I would agree with you, right? And so I think some of the nuances, like to your point, really stem from like us naturally, right? Like who we are naturally, and like women are naturally more nurturing. So I think we definitely, man to man, we might not get, like you said, we might give a surface. We really mean it though, right? Like I really care for you, but like I may not get to the.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get granular.
Too.
Yeah, it's understood. I don't take. There's no offense to it, right? You're not like, damn, like such and such ain't check on me like this. No, like we get it, but I think like, I think why that's kind of why, and this segues into another topic, but I feel like that's why our friendships like last, or they're at least their foundations are really strong, because I think we take what we believed on the surface so deeply that we're like, all right, he wouldn't have, ill intent towards me, or he really does care, you know what I mean? He is really looking out, but even though he didn't go, the long mile to go and get this and get that and do this and do this, he really does care to see this through and hope that I make it out of this situation. We take things on the surface, and that's word is bond, right, for us. Whereas women, I don't even know if his word is bond. I think it is a little more of like a relationship. Is kind of what I said. That's why I mentioned that. Like to them, it's like it's a little more. Like they should be doing more.
You think female friendships are more like they're closer to relationships than male friendships?
Yeah, I feel like they're closer in the sense of like we're doing things as if we're like partners. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of like we're friends. Like, and I think the line between friends and partners is just like, in a partnership, it's like I'm doing for you, you do for me, we do for each other.
Interesting.
In a friendship, it's almost like I don't think you don't consciously think of it like that.
Interesting.
So that's why I think like I think it's a very thin line between that, but I do think that's why. And so also from the natural standpoint, I do think women care more. So it's like when I'm giving you all of me in a friendship, it don't have to be no boyfriend, girlfriend. It just a matter of I'm giving you all this. Yeah, like it needs to be reciprocated. And so I've definitely seen where if it doesn't feel reciprocated, or if it isn't reciprocated, then now we have an issue.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to, even for a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think this is why we don't do it. It's hard to give so much individual attention to a person and to not expect a little something in return. And that's why, back to what I said, I personally feel like the difference between male and female friendships is like, we are more general, surface level. Women are more like, the nooks and crannies.
Yeah,
like
they're more granular.
I'm not cool with her because like,
she's.
Did you ask her what she said? Nah, fuck that.
Right, yeah, it was just, like I expected it to be this, and it wasn't. So, but you know what it is too. Like women are naturally more selfless, whereas I think men are more selfish naturally. So, being more selfless, naturally you expect it, or you would think, right? And then, but as a man, when you selfish naturally, you don't really even think. If one of the homies don't do something for us, we're not thinking like, damn,
right?
Like,
because it still need to get done.
Yeah, it still needs to get done.
It's natural order and shit.
Yeah,
it's natural order. Not coming at the masculine or the feminine, but like we don't got time for that.
Yeah.
It's like if I can't help me, I can't help nobody.
I can't help anybody.
Shit.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that's how we conditioned to think though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
You know what I mean? But this actually, so something you had said made me think like about this next topic. So I was talking to somebody and she was like, I think men have a higher threshold for like red flags in friendship than women. Like meaning we put up with more in friendships than women do with each other. So I thought that was interesting because I was like, that's definitely a topic for discussion. I don't necessarily know if I agree, but I think that it's...
That men put up with more than women
so
do?
like we'll tolerate more questionable behaviors almost. Like then... And I almost felt her because I felt like I have put so many questionable things in my mind that have happened from one of the homies or somebody I really deemed super close. I didn't even think about it. I thought about it and I was like, nah, I'm not thinking about it. I won't go that far in thought because this is somebody I'm locked in with. But then I was like, is that true? Because I won't even, the reason why I agree with her is because I wouldn't even let somebody get too close to me before they pass certain checks and balances. So then, you know what I mean? Like if you do something suspect, it's like, damn, like that was against my own assessment.
This one is tough, and I'm not. I think I'm kind of an anomaly with this topic because I was, honestly, let me not, because I was kind of self-centered to say, because knowing what I know about you, I was raised by my mom, predominantly, so like naturally, like I'm sharp, I pay attention, like
Same.
I see you. But in the same, breath, and as I grow older, got a kid now, it's like, I don't take shit personally. So it's like, all right, if you kind of move in a way that it's like, oh, like, all right, I see you. That's it. Like, I literally see you, and like, I'm going to continue on my path, but just know I saw you. It's no secret.
Yeah, it's no secret.
Yeah, where it's like, with women, it's like, oh, should I say something? We don't have them conversations because if we got to say something, yo, bro, like, or face to face, like, yo, let me holler at you real quick, it's like, so yeah, we definitely, I would say yes, we do have a higher
threshold, okay,
but we also we don't care.
Right, it's nuanced. It's nuanced in that, even that, like, we have a higher threshold because, like you just said, we may have a higher threshold, but it's like I peeped it. I'm not thinking about talking about it. And I'm not even thinking about it. You know what I mean?
And then check this one. If you, let's just like draw a picture real quick. You got one of your homeboys or whatever, constantly like, yo, was that shit weird?
Right.
Is this nigga acting? Like, what do we label that at? Like, in my mind, is a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, nigga, relax. Like, chill. Like,
right.
Chill out.
Right. Yeah. Once you start, and that, but okay, but see, devil's advocate, right? If a nigga is feeling a certain type of way, like genuinely, we gonna label it as like, oh, like, man, like, stop being sensitive. Like, bro, chill out. It wasn't that serious. But like, what if it's really some underlying shit and now the nigga don't feel comfortable? Because now it's like you making it a bigger deal than what it really is. No.
But that's why we say bitch, because like respectfully. Respect. I mean, if the shoe fits, my nigga, you gotta wear the shoe. But like, a man, I'll say, a man, if a man ever has something to say, a man is gonna say what he has to say. It's not gonna be no like back and forth. I'm not gonna teeter-totter on if I should say something. You know what I mean? Like, if I feel how I feel, we gotta speak.
I'm with you.
Or I gotta act. One of the two.
Speak or act.
Yeah.
And niggas do a lot more acting than speaking because niggas can't articulate themselves. But that's a whole nother conversation.
And we haven't really, touched on the benefits of women. I think with women, it's like a lemon. Like, you squeeze like a lemon in your drink, and a man is probably more likely to squeeze, oh yeah, that was a good drip, and throw that bitch away. But like a woman is gonna give it time and like keep squeezing it, like drawing most of what she can get from a situation, positive and negative, and it just leads to like more life. You get more life when you give time to things, and that's why like a man needs a woman.
100%.
Like shit, you need someone that's gonna like fill in the blanks, because I know I'm not filling in blanks. I don't got time. I got shit to do.
Yeah. My mind is focused on a lot of things. Yeah. I need you for that. I need you to fill in that.
Absolutely.
God bless them compliments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God bless
women.
Yeah.
I love me a woman.
Ooh, sheesh.
Feel like Chris 12, ladies.
This a ladies man right here, man. You gonna be a hit just like Ty was when she came on, man. They gonna like you. All right, so look. So that being said, right, are women friendships more fickle than men friendships? like fickle, meaning like it's like it's very volatile. Like it could be one day we rocking, next day we not. One day we this, one day we not. One day, so it's volatile. You know, you never know. Like it could be. There's no consistency really, and like I know fickle has a little more meaning to it, but like I'm just kind of like generalizing. Yeah, I'm generalizing. So I asked that. I mean, I felt like because the two topics we just touched on, I feel like that kind of like segues into, you know, our friendships being what substance do they really hold? You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people, even in high school, right? You had a lot of motherfuckers being opportunists. Like they will be cool with you because what you can do for them. And then when you can't service me, boom, all right, cool, I'm not right. So I say that to say it's like, I mean, that just goes into, you know, friendships. Like, is it really a friendship, you know, if I can't service you in some way? Like if I have nothing, like we were just rapping before the pod, if I have nothing and I remove everything, am I anything to anyone that's in my network?
I think that, and ladies check me on this one. Like I feel like girls' relationships are a lot more fickle than men's.
Okay.
A woman understands that, yeah, you know, you might pay attention to certain things, but in the same breath, like if you rocking, you know, and that don't need to be questioned. That just is what it is. It's like we rocking. So like, yeah, if you a girl and like you got time to just like throw your time away, like, yeah, you're a fucking girl. Like your shit is fickle. It's not lasting.
Yeah.
You know, and I personally feel like growing as a woman is probably a lot harder than growing as a man. You know, because women have to learn a man can like achieve a lot in life, you know, but like you won't like complete in life. Mm-hmm. Whereas a woman, you know, like is such a nurturer, provider, pays attention to like detail. They have to balance the nurturing and loving energy with like, yo, you still got to go get it. Just because you're a woman don't mean like you don't got to,
yeah, you
know. So I kind of like took a little bit of a detour with that one, but
no,
it's definitely like some juggling.
It supports your sentiment, like, and I would agree, but you know, I would say I think men can be very fickle in relationships, right, and friendships, right, because I don't know if it's more, but I just know that, like, you know, frat shit, right? Somebody might be like, oh, like this makes sense for you to join such and such, or like, you know, you're serviceable to us, so this helps us. But then when it's like, nah, like I don't even align with none of that.
Oh, yeah.
Once you make that clear, what happens then? Are you still, you know, are these same people still reaching out? Like, yo, here's the party. Yo, let's actually go grab a bite. You know what I mean? Like all of that, all the means, you know, all lines of communication are cut.
Yeah, but men I think are more likely to move based on like their principle than women. Women will move like off of their principle. That's why, like, you know, and I guess to use the example of like frats and stuff, it's like, are you, you know, them niggas are probably looking at it like, yo, you know, you ain't really adding too much to what, you know, this is the vibe, nigga. Like, are you providing the vibe?
Yeah, are you providing anything to contribute?
With you, you know,
cut.
Which is
I feel like that's how we are in general, man. Like if we aren't contributing, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'll speak for myself. If I feel like you're not contributing nothing at this point where I'm at in life, there is no adding you to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all for mentoring. I've been in a mentor program where I was mentoring somebody. I'm fine with that, but when it comes to adding you to the network that's already, like, you do, and that's why I say we might be a little more fickle, because we're like, like girls might just be like, yo, I think she's cute, like I'm gonna be friends with her.
When the last time we added someone to our friend group? Like,
bro, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll be thinking about it all the time. I'd be like, bro, I hang out with the same people all the time.
Yo, like, I'll be like, yo, my tripping.
Cycle.
Like, should I expand? But then you get out there and it's like,
I don't even be thinking about that. And you know what? Perfect segue, right? So, importance of a small circle, but a large network.
Oh yeah.
Now that right there, small circle, large network. What do I mean by that? What I mean is small inner circle, right? The people that you talk to on a day to day is your inner circle. Your network is people that you know through somebody, right? Like, you know, I know Zay. He knows fucking Pusha. Pusha knows fucking Jay. You know what I mean? And then that's the network though, because it starts here. So small circle is important though. Why? Because they have your best interest. And when you start adding more and more to that, you start getting ulterior motives. You start getting people looking at you for, just with a different lens. So I would really emphasize, whether y'all agree or not, I do emphasize a small circle. I've always been very weary of people with large circles. I don't know what that means. Because I don't think you can really connect with that many people, in my opinion, on a personal level. I think Jay-Z or who else? Michael Jackson, probably Beyonce, they probably have, 1 million admirers. How many people you think Jay-Z and or Beyonce and Michael Jackson and Prince, whoever else is huge, how many people you think they talk to on a day to day? Bro, it's probably one hand, if maybe two. It's probably one hand. But that's what I mean. It's 5 people they probably talk to on a day to day compared to millions that's in their network. So I just wanted to go on that rant real quick just to let y'all know that I really stress this, because I've always felt this way since high school. I never wanted to be the most known individual or none of that. I care about relationships. What does this bond mean, right? If this don't hold no substance, this don't have no foundation, then it don't mean nothing. Right. So, I guess I leave that to you. How do you feel about the whole term that I brought up of small circle but large network?
Man, I think generally it makes sense. Generally I want a small circle. I haven't made, like new close brothers, brother homies, like family type shit. You don't just go and do that.
It's hard. It's difficult.
And it's also not conducive, especially if you're trying to build, because building means change, and change means change, and change hurts. It's uncomfortable. So I kind of had a conversation, like this the other day with a friend of mine, just like, yo, I want a larger, and ironically, I used the word network.
Okay.
Like I want a larger network. I want a larger group of people to interact with on a day to day, people that are going to spark, inspire, and vice versa, from me to them. But I know where home is, you know what I mean? You kind of like spread your seed, like not like literally, but like, spread yourself and still come back home. So I agree 100% with that shit. I feel like, small circle, large network. I think that within the small circle, though, the one thing that like you need to be aware of is that your small circle is a circle, and the circle is closed. So like,
agreed.
In terms of growth, you still
only go so far.
Still got to help your circle grow. So it's like, you got to kind of step. I don't want to say you got to step back from your circle, but you got to be aware. You got to move with intention. Just move with intent.
Moving with intent is important. Let me say this too also, right? I think people have to understand the difference between a network and a base, a friend base, or whatever it might be, right? Because your base is that core that we're talking about, but that network goes out into the world. You know what I mean? That expands. That's not just, from here where we're sitting right now in this city to the next city next to us. That network goes to over the wherever. West Coast, down south, over the seas. So I think the network is important, but what's important about that, like who within the circle, but you're always one person away from somebody, right? So when I was gonna say like it's important in the circle who knows someone who knows someone. It's actually not, because I mean, yes, it is and it isn't, right? Because you're always one person away. Like you don't know who's related to the person that you fucking best friends with.
That's why you need a network,
right?
you know.
Exactly. And so the more you network, the more you start getting around, like sharing your story, passing your information along, exposing like who you are as a person. It'll start to kind of give that visibility into to you from a broader perspective, opposed to just this linear scope of like 5 niggas I talk to every day.
and I wanna elaborate on that because I used to have this issue where I got the biggest heart and I love who I love, you know. So like my circle is like, I love my niggas and I just want us to win. Everybody that like I'm with, like we gotta win. But Jay-Z said it in one of his songs. It's like, like I can't help the poor from one of them. And not saying my circle is poor at all, but saying, if I have nothing to bring to the table, think about it for whoever's listening. Like if you ever wanted to move somewhere, like the only thing that makes it difficult is if your ass ain't got nothing to offer. You want to go and say, gimme, but you don't got nothing to give. So tie back, like, I was always the type, like, I just want to feed my circle. But like, I'm not feeding myself by expanding and growing, you know what I'm saying? So maybe your circle, I don't want to say it will change or like it'll switch, but maybe like you'll add a couple of like contingents or like key pieces, you know, because it's like, how I'm gonna come back to home base, you know, with like, shit, I might gotta come back with a person,
right? Yeah,
not just my like, hey, this
right,
my, you know,
right. I see what you mean. That's a good take. Honestly, I don't want to expound too much on it because I want to stay within.
Yeah.
But I think what you just said is very key because I'll leave it off at this. Sometimes hearing the information, you get jaded, right?
Yeah.
You hearing the information from your mom, and then you go and hear it from a girl you meet. You be like, damn, like my mom been telling me this all along. I'm, you know, like damn, like I guess she's right. You know what I mean? Like damn. And so it just, you know, you just become jaded. So like what you just said, very important. Let's talk about this real quick, right? How do you maintain? Actually, I want to go here. Value of compartmentalizing your network, because that's what we've been talking about, right? The pros and cons.
Yeah.
And I think this is something I learned as of recently, compartmentalizing. Because I used to treat every nigga as the same. Like, you can go to the club with me. You can hit the lounge with me. Me and you can go run down if we want to go talk to some girls. You know what I mean? We can go kick it and listen to music. Like, I used to treat everybody the same. And then I had a wake-up call, and the shit clashed with one person. And I said, damn, like, I thought we would do.
You supposed to be mine?
Like we do everything. Yeah. And you do everything just like everybody else. Like, but then I was like, damn, I gotta actually compartmentalize my network. Not only my network, my base. I thought the base you wouldn't have to compartmentalize, but sometimes you do. So what do you think the pros and cons of compartmentalizing, you know, your friend group is?
There's no cons to that shit. Is no cons to that shit. I had the same beef, you know, with someone that is still extremely close to me to this day, and
that's great.
Yeah, that's like, great. Damn, you know, you think somebody is supposed to be like it, like the definition of it, and like, yo,
that's what I thought.
That's what you thought, but it's like, yo, like, I mean, we don't. Our actions don't lie.
Yeah,
you know, so like, pay attention. And this is why I say we have to like be willing to go out into the world and bring back to our circle, because if all I'm doing is paying attention to you, you know, and not like expanding myself, I'm gonna get my feelings hurt because I got expectations. Nigga, you supposed to be my boy. Like you if I call you bro, dog, why you ain't like, why you wasn't there when X, Y, and Z happened? You know what I mean?
There's some expectations that come with this shit.
Yeah, but like, not for nothing, you know, people, we're all selfish. You know, like me and you, we brothers, but at the same, you know, same token, it's like, yo, if I'm not helping me, I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like, absolutely need to compartmentalize your friends. I'm not taking certain niggas to the club. I'm not asking certain niggas to nah. Like, bro, I know he probably, at the crib just chilling.
Yeah,
he's
like, not. Yeah, he don't want to be
that?
out. You don't want. Push said that. It's funny. Damn, I'm just now having this revelation. Push had the interview with I think it was $1 million worth of game. Shout out to them. So he was like, yo, like back in 7-5, like certain niggas ain't going to the mall with us. Like certain niggas we know are not. Like we know you're not gonna go to the level that we're gonna go to if shit goes to where it could go.
Yeah.
So I gotta leave you, and that. But when he said it, I didn't realize that was compartmentalizing. Yeah. Like in that moment, I was like, oh, it's just like, okay, like you assessing, like you understand, you reading the room, cool. But I didn't realize. So, and then once you get a real deal situation, like you said, I don't think there's no cons to compartmentalizing.
I don't think
your friend, because there should be don't take none of that shit personally.
Right.
That's what it is. And that's where it gets tricky, because then it's like, well, damn, like I saw you out with all the gang and like I wasn't invited. I was like, well, I mean, I didn't think he was into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some niggas don't like the strip club. Then you're not gonna come on this type of night. You know what I mean? So don't take it like, oh, you wasn't.
It's a couple of niggas of mine, and when y'all watch this, y'all gonna know who y'all are. It's a couple of niggas that if I say, bro, like we hitting the strip on Saturday.
Yeah, you're just not interested.
They gonna look at me like I done fucking.
Yeah, like what? Like that's foreign.
You want me to take money and
and give it to and yeah.
It's an experience, bro.
That's why the strip club is a perfect metric for the compartmentalizing, because you're like, damn, like. So that's why I asked.
You either gotta hit the strip with niggas that don't give a fuck, or
never been, It's one or the fucking other. Because if a nigga been and he didn't like it, is I don't even want to have him in this energy. But
don't do it to him. He doesn't deserve that.
Nah. But if you like it, like, come on, man, let's have a good time. But yeah, man. So compartmentalizing, you think there's no cons? To conclude, there's no cons to that shit. Cause I'm there with you. I'm rocking. I think the one con is this though. You can get that person. People could take it personally. Like, why are you separating me here in these instances?
But them people ain't the ones that like, listen, that's their problem. If I'm compartmentalizing, I'm doing it based on your actions. I'm not doing it based on my like feelings. It's okay, you move like this. Why am I gonna ask you to move like that? So it's no cons on my end. But if you got beef with me compartmentalizing your ass, then that means you are not moving in alignment. You want something that is not how you move.
All around.
Yeah. And I've experienced that. Like I've experienced that on both ends, like with men and women. And it's like, bro, sis.
Bro and sis.
Real shit, man. Like, don't listen. And I've had to tell so many fucking people, like, you need to get to know yourself. This means a lot to me. I didn't even realize this topic meant a lot, but it's like, yo, there's people in my phone right fucking now that, yo, Zay, you good? Why you acting like X, Y, and Z? Yo, we still cool. Like, you need to be cool with that. Like you mad because I'm making adjustments, bro.
We're still cool. You need to be cool with that, nigga. Boom. Yeah. Just like that.
Know yourself, love yourself, and do what you got to do for yourself. It works.
Damn, man.
It works.
That nigga dropped the exclamation point on that subtly. That's hard. I'm going to move on because I like that. I like the way that ended. Boom. Last topic. How do we maintain valuable friendships?
Ooh.
With meaning? You know what I mean? And I'm going to kick it off real quick. One of my best friends, right? He's been co-hosted and featured on this show multiple times. I'll let y'all figure it out. It just, the fact of the matter is, the way you maintain that is always just having very pure and true like alignment. Like, even if you don't align, you still have a very aligned purpose. And I think that be the problem with a lot of people. Your purpose don't align with who you're trying to attract. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, I'm saying, like, you want to be cool with this crowd and you don't even be into what that crowd is really into. Vice versa, they not even really in, but on the surface, that's what makes sense. So that will never be congruent long term. That'll only last for the couple months and the vacations and shit that y'all can do. But then when it really come down to when the nitty gritty hit, when you start seeing where people's core values sit, it don't really be about anything. It don't hold any weight. So I don't think you can maintain those relationships because none of that shit is congruent. None of it is aligned with where you sit, internally. So, I say that to say it's very difficult to maintain relationships and friendships and all of that for this long. And I value all of my friends. I want to conclude this episode with I've been friends with all the people that I'm real cool with going on 10 years, if not more. The one person I referenced, more than 10 years, you know what I mean? We almost talking 2 decades. And there is no gray area and there's no weirdness, right? And if there is, confront it and let it be that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't let shit go on. I know people now who, I don't know, like you said earlier, should I say something? Say something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth going 3 months.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the shit right now. Let's get it over with and let's move on.
Especially if that's your your rada. If that's your rada, like, you got to do what you got to do.
100%. So, flip it to you. How do you feel like you maintain those valuable friendships? The whole meaning to you.
I just stay solid. I stay solid, and I always make sure that I'm giving more than I'm taking. So it's like, think about before you like place your problems onto someone else's plate. Have you given that person enough to have the capacity to handle your shit? Appreciate that. But like, have you given enough? Is it worth it to that person? So I just take care of my relationships. I take care of myself first and foremost. I water my own plants, and naturally I compartmentalize. But I just always give more. You know what I mean? Like, you listen, you ask how someone is doing before you tell them what you got going on. Little things like that. I know I've seen it. Like, and I just had to thank a very close person to me. Like, yo, like, you actually asked me, like, to elaborate on what I said. Like, thank you. And you had, like, a lot that you wanted to say that was not on this topic, but you said, yo, like, nah, you go first. I care about what you got to say. That's how you handle it. That's how you move. That's solid. That's 100. Like, you give more than you take. When you go out in the world and you just like, give me, I feel like I just said this shit a couple minutes ago, but it's like, shit, the world looks at you back like, no, how about you give me something?
Yeah.
So like, you give, you give. That's how you maintain and nurture relationships. That's why, I'm cool with the niggas I'm cool with, and the women I'm cool with. That's why these relationships are long lasting, because I give.
Shout out to the women I'm cool with too. Y'all are all some cool women, man. Y'all really hold it down. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Y'all cool. Y'all done been featured on here and all that. And I agree with you. I think I was just listening to you and I'm just like, man, honestly, I feel like this was a very powerful episode. I feel like this was an impactful episode. Like, wow. I really do. We stayed on one topic. We didn't really stray. It was organic. It was meaningful, and I feel like, you could learn something. And I want to get more interactive with y'all, so I definitely want to talk about a lot of the different topics we discuss. So when we roll this episode out, I'm going to do it a little differently, so this way we can be a little more interactive. But this right here was a phenomenal episode. I feel very fulfilled with this.
Thank you for having me.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew you would. And this is another thing, right? And I'm not trying to big up myself, but I know when I can get certain things out of certain people in terms of content. And I knew that this would be a good conversation, brother. And you did your thing, man. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, that's episode 28. And wow. Subtle Impact TV.
That's a W.
Say, Chris, we out. Kill a little explosion in there.